Monroe was born on June 1, 1926, in Los Angeles, California. Monroe was named Norma Jean Mortensen at birth, later baptized as Norma Jean Baker. Growing up, Monroe spent much of her time in foster care and in an orphanage. In 1937, a family friend and her husband, Grace and Doc Goddard, took care of Monroe for a few years. The Goddards were paid $25 weekly by Monroe's mother to raise her. At 7 years old, Monroe returned to a life in foster homes, where she endured sexual assault on several occasions. She later said that she had been raped when she was 11 years old. She dropped out of high school by age 15. Monroe had a way out through marriage, and she wed her boyfriend and merchant marine Jimmy Doherty in 1942, at the age of 16. Monroe dreamt of becoming an actress like Jean Harlow and Lana Turner. By the time Doherty returned in 1946, Monroe had a successful career as a model. That year, she signed her first movie contract. With the contract came a new name and image. She began calling herself Marilyn Monroe, and dyed her hair blonde. In the mid-1950s, Monroe grew tired of bubbly, dumb blonde roles and moved to New York City to study acting with Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio. By the early 1960s, however, Monroe's professional and personal life seemed to be in turmoil following unsuccessful relationships. Monroe had 3 husbands in her lifetime: James Doherty, 1942–1946, Joe DiMaggio, 1954, and Arthur Miller, 1956–1961. She is also remembered for her romantic relationships with Marlon Brando, Frank Sinatra, Eve Montand and director Elia Kazan. Monroe died at her Los Angeles home on August 5, 1962, at only 36 years old. An empty bottle of sleeping pills was found by her bed. There has been some speculation over the years that she may have been murdered, but the cause of her death was officially ruled as a drug overdose. Monroe was buried in her favorite Emilio Pucci dress, in what was known as a Cadillac casket. The most high-end casket available, made of heavy-gauge solid bronze and lined with champagne-colored silk. To all the girls that think you're fat because you're not a size 0, you're the beautiful one. It's society who's ugly. I don't forgive people because I'm weak, I forgive them because I am strong enough to know people make mistakes. Sometimes you just have to throw on a crown and remind them who they're dealing with. No one ever told me I was pretty when I was a little girl. All little girls should be told they're pretty, even if they aren't. Fame doesn't fulfill you. It warms you a bit, but that warmth is temporary. She was a girl who knew how to be happy even when she was sad. And that's important, you know. All a girl really wants is for one guy to prove to her that they are not all the same. How wrong it is for a woman to expect the man to build the world she wants, rather than to create it herself. I'm a failure as a woman. My men expect so much of me, because of the image they've made of me and that I've made of myself as a sex symbol. They expect bells to ring and whistles to whistle. But my anatomy is the same as any other woman's and I can't live up to it. I've often stood silent at a party for hours listening to my movie idols turn into dull and little people. I love a natural look in pictures. I like people with a feeling one way or another, it shows an inner life. I like to see that there's something going on inside them. My work is the only ground I've ever had to stand on. I seem to have a whole superstructure with no foundation, but I'm working on the foundation. I believe that everything happens for a reason. People change so that you can learn to let go, things go wrong so that you appreciate them when they're right. And sometimes good things fall apart so better things can fall together. Girls will be your friends, they'll act like it anyway. But just remember, some come, some go. The ones that stay with you through everything, they're your true best friends. Don't let go of them. When it comes down to it, I let them think what they want. If they care enough to bother with what I do, then I'm already better than them. For those who are poor in happiness, each time is a first time. Happiness never becomes a habit. I'm selfish, impatient, and insecure. I make mistakes. I am out of control and at times, hard to handle. But if you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. The way you carry yourself is influenced by the way you feel inside. You must feel attractive to be attractive.